Hey, what's up, sweaties? It's Jon Schnepp here. I'm at Meltdown Comics. That's right, it's comic book shopping. This episode, we're gonna talk with Evan Goldberg, the co-producer, co-director, co-writer of AMC's Preacher.
I'm expanding my horizons here.
This is something you need to read.
I'm sold.
It's very disturbing.
Great, I love when terrible things happen.
Let's go talk to him. Hey, what's up, Evan?
Hey, man.
Hey, thanks for coming down and being part of this, man.
No problem, I live 3 blocks away.
Let's talk about Preacher. When did you first find out about Preacher?
I've been a big comic fan my whole life because my older brother is a voracious reader and he reads tons of comics. And one day he came into my bedroom and threw down Preacher and was like, this is the best one there is. Read it all. And I just did. And Seth and I became friends in bar mitzvah class when we were 12. And one of the main things, if not the main thing, we bonded over was we both were reading Preacher. I gave it to him because he told me he liked comics, and that's kind of where our friendship started.
That's a great way to start a friendship with one of the greatest comic book series ever made. Cut forward to now, how did you guys get into making Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon's Preacher as a series on AMC?
We've actually been trying to make it since like the day we had made Superbad. As soon as we had one successful thing, we said, let's try to make Preacher, and we were flatly rejected. And then every year or two for the last 10 or so years, we've been trying to make Preacher and been rejected again and again and again. And these guys, Neil Moritz and Ari Mormur, who they do Fast and Furious movies, and they also did The Green Hornet. We connected with them on that, and they saw us reading it on set. And they said that they were into it, so they got the rights, and they brought it to us as a TV show, and they teamed us up with Sam Catlin, who was from Breaking Bad, and that's how it all went down.
That's how it's done. Sunday night, June 25th, the premiere of season 2. What are we looking forward to in season 2?
I mean, it starts as the road trip the comic kind of was and is, and Seth and I directed the first 2 episodes, which has them driving out of Texas and then heading on their road trip, trying to find God wherever he might be on Earth.
So the comic book, issue 1 all the way to 66, it has a beginning, middle, and definite end. How many seasons do you see this series going?
I mean, the conversations that we've all had, all the producers and Garth, is to go for 6 or 7 years, you know, as long as we can, really. I got no limit. We can keep going. We got Garth with us. We can make up more stories if we have to.
The angels come back. They're like, there's a new fight.
The angels were demons, and demons are Smurfs. We'll figure something out.
Well, let's check out some of Garth Ennis's other work and find out about this comic book Preacher.
You got it.
So here's the big daddy of it all, the absolute edition of Preacher. It's issues 1 through 24. If you haven't gotten a chance to check out Preacher, that's the flavory package, the way to do it. Evan and Seth did a foreword in it. What's your favorite moment from the Preacher comic books?
The foreword from the absolute Preacher compilation. My favorite moment is the end. I think that it's like one of the greatest endings to any story I've ever read in my entire life. And obviously I'm not gonna say how it all ends, but it's so satisfying. Every character has a complete, concluded story. I just think it's one of the greatest endings to anything.
Let's talk about the casting. I mean, what inspired you?
When it came to casting, we really just wanted to make sure that our 3 main characters were like grounded in the comic in some regard, but that were really like strong people who just kind of had something of their own. And all 3 of the main leads are just incredible. Joe's like an actual crazy person in real life. He sent us a tape that we realized was filmed by his mother in their basement, and everything subsequent tape we saw of him was just filmed by his mother in his basement. You stop paying attention to Joe for 5 minutes, he'll be best friends with a stranger across the street and then invite them to his house for dinner and then try to get them to help him find marijuana somewhere.
70 million circumcisions every year. Did they report? And that's just in this country. Think about that.
You know what, Cassidy? I don't want to.
And then Ruth was one of those things where the moment we saw her, we were just like, that's her, that's it. Because she just has this like kind of fire. And Tulip in the comic, even though she's tough, like relative to the other 2, she's significantly less tough. And we wanted to kind of make it that she's just as formidable as the other 2 and that all of them can hold their own.
Oh, she's tough.
You do have nice skin.
Shut up.
We did a never-ending search to try to find who would be Jesse Custer, and it was unbelievably difficult because it's like playing a Clint Eastwood character, but you have to emote like a huge amount throughout it. There's like lots of layers, and he's sometimes good and sometimes bad and sometimes there for his woman and sometimes not. And so eventually we had to go to England to try to find someone, which did not feel like the right move at the time. We kept trying to find a real like Texan or someone who's like truly American, but you know, got to Game of Thrones it. Just get a bunch of people from England.
So speaking about comic books, let's go shopping. I mean, we've got Garth Ennis's, some of his amazing work besides Preacher. You've got The Boys that you should definitely check out, his collab with Derek Robertson. He's got so much amazing work, as well as all these other amazing writers and artists. We are in Meltdown. Let's check out some of these books.
Let's do it.
Alejandro Jodorowsky is an amazing filmmaker. A lot of people don't know about his work. This one's incredible. It's like a little sampler of all of his crazy ass, freakish, super science fiction of the future books.
I'm sold.
You know what's also really cool is Black Science.
I was just looking at that.
I would highly recommend checking it out. Have you got this yet? This is something you need to read. It's very disturbing. It's kids hanging out and bad stuff happens.
Great, I love when terrible things happen.
Evan just convinced me to buy the spread, so I'm checking it out.
It's good, it's really messed up. I'm also gonna buy the spread.
Let me just highly suggest The Story of Pussy.
Story of Pussy.
It points a laser focus on all of us super nerds and makes fun of us, but in a very funny way. It's really good.
I'll give it a go.
All right.
I'm expanding my horizons here.
I'm gonna highly suggest this book. It's The Vision from Marvel. It is incredible. It's basically the Vision if he got a robot family and then the troubles and tribulations of that robot family.
I'm all into artificial intelligence.
It's a lot of fun. Jimmy's Bastards, written by Garth Ennis. Issue 1 just came out today. This looks fantastic. I don't know if you've already been reading this, but
no.
It's called Kill or Be Killed. It just came out in a collected trade paperback. Ed Brubaker's pal Greg Rucka and Nicola Scott, the artist from Wonder Woman, did this incredible series, Black Magic. I'm gonna highly suggest picking it up.
I'll take it all. I'm good to go.
Let's get out of here, let's check out.
Cheers, man.
Hey, guys.
I got the bigger stack. I don't need to brag.
So it'll be 136.04.
I'd like to thank Evan Goldberg for being with us on the show. Thanks, Evan.
Thanks for having me. I got comics out of it.
Man, you got a good stack. Definitely check out season 2 of Preacher. It's premiering this Sunday, June 25th on AMC. It's a 2-part premiere. You gotta check it out. It's gonna be amazing. I'm Jon Schnepp. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.